I'm glad you could come over for this episode of Passion for Food, because today we're making some pickle-sticks! They're tangy, they're sweet, they're salty, they're crunchy! Snap into a pickle stick! Oh yeah! Let's go ahead and get started! First up, we need a couple of large cucumbers. You'll probably need 2 or 3 of these at least. And a nice big jar. I like these 32-ounce canning jars. To practice the perfect pickle stick proportions, I like to use the jar as the actual measuring stick here. So we'll give our cucumbers a quick circumcision and then use that to measure out our length. We want to cut the cucumbers about an inch below the level on the jar we plan to fill the brine to. And once we have the one cucumber cut to size, we can just use that one to measure out the rest. Again, for a 32-ounce jar, we're going to need about 3 of these large slicing cucumbers. Now, normally large cucumbers like this aren't used very much in pickling because they have a lot of seeds. Like, a lot. But that's okay because today we're making pickle sticks, and that's an easy fix. We just need a little bowl and a spoon like this, and we can scrape those seeds straight out. You'll be surprised how easily those come out of there. So we'll just repeat that with all of our cucumber halves, and then we can simply slice these lengthwise into little sticks. The exact width is up to you. We just want these to be able to fit together neatly vertically in our jar. Now, okay, technically it doesn't have to be vertical, and it doesn't have to be sticks, but hey man, this is the pickle sticks video. So we might as well stick with the theme. And now that we have some of our cucumber sticks, we'll just whisk this off to our jar. And while we stuff that full of as much cucumber as we can, I thought I'd come up with a little pickle pun for you, but I just couldn't. Oh well, no big deal. Once we're done playing cucumber Tetris, a little trick I like to use to know how much brine I'm going to need is just to pour in plain water first. That way all we have to do is pour that out into a measuring cup and we'll know exactly how much brine we're going to need in our jar. Which wound up being about 1.5 cups, which was fairly consistent over the various batches I did, so you could probably just estimate that if you didn't want to measure it. So we'll dump out that water, and then we're going to fill this up to that same line, 1.5 cups, with rice wine vinegar. Now, I don't see rice wine vinegar being used a lot in pickling. This particular pickle preparation was inspired by a quick cucumber salad that I like to make as a side dish. And as a side note, make sure your rice wine vinegar is sugar and salt free. Don't get the seasoned kind. Once we have our vinegar up to the 1.5 cup mark, we're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of salt. And another 2 tablespoons of sugar. I really like to keep those two balanced, but some people prefer their pickles a little sweeter, some prefer them a little saltier, so feel free to vary that to your taste. We'll just stir that to dissolve. And now back to our jar, but hang on, before we pour that on there, let's add a couple of extra flavor elements. First up, a couple of cloves of crushed garlic. In addition to that, I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of mustard seeds. Now, these are black mustard seeds, but any mustard seeds or whatever other flavorings you would like to add would be fine here. And then we're just going to fill the jar with our rice wine vinegar brine. I like to fill it right to the top because as we eat our pickles, the level is going to drop a little bit. But that's it. We'll just put our lid on here and give these at least 30 minutes, but they'll be better if you let them sit overnight. Especially the garlic and mustard flavors. They take a little while to develop. And here they are the next day. You can see they don't look any different, but they sure do taste different. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, a cucumber pickle absolutely has to be crunchy, and these definitely fit the bill. But let's say we just want some quick sandwich pickles and we don't want to measure the brine and all that. We can just layer in some cucumber slices in a jar and put in 2 tablespoons each of salt and sugar and simply fill with our vinegar. You can see I overfilled my jar a bit here trying to get all of those slices in, so I had to kind of rinse down the salt before I could add my sugar. But hey, that's okay. And just like before, we could add other flavorings if we wanted, but I decided to leave these plain so I would have a little variety in my fridge. We'll just give that a shake to dissolve that sugar and salt, and that's it. After 30 minutes, these are pickled and ready to serve. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode and it wasn't too jarring for you. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up below, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you don't miss our future recipes. And check out one of our other great videos on the screen now. This has been Graham with Passion for Food. I like to fill it all the way up to the top here to give us our... Cut.